Welcome to the History of North America. I'm Mark Vinet. This episode, we interrupt our regular series narrative to address a few of the many listener comments and questions. For expediency and privacy concerns, I will only divulge the initials of those who reached out to me. All right, let's begin our first Q&A session. Listener GW asks, what does the word Chicxulub mean? Well, that place name was mentioned in episode 2. Chicxulub Impact Crater is buried underneath the Yucatan Peninsula in Mexico. Its center is located offshore near the town of Chicxulub. The impact crater was formed when a large asteroid or comet struck the Earth slightly more than 66 million years ago, and worldwide climate disruption from the event caused the mass extinction of all non-avian dinosaurs. Chicxulub, ironically, is Mayan for Trail of the Devil. Listeners E and K ask, in episode 3, you mentioned North America was reached by its first human populations during the last glacial period of the current ice age. Are we living in an ice age? Actually, yes. We do live in an ice age. At least 5 major ice ages have occurred throughout Earth's history. The earliest was over 2 billion years ago, and the most recent one began approximately 3 million years ago and continues today. Currently, we are in a warm interglacial period that began about 11,000 years ago. Viewer NFB, who watches the YouTube version of this series, also asks a question regarding episode 3. You refer to our ancestors as hominids and hominins. What is the difference between these two similar terms? Okay, this is complicated, but I'll try and keep my answer simple. Hominid, which ends with the letter D, describes the family of great apes who share a common ancestor, which presently includes humans, chimpanzees, gorillas, and orangutans. Hominin, which ends with the letter N, is a subfamily which presently refers to humans and their close human-like extinct relatives, such as Neanderthals. Referring to episode 4, DH wants to know where Kennewick Man was found in North America. The 9,000-year-old prehistoric Paleo-American male skeletal remains, known as Kennewick Man or the Ancient One, were found on a bank of the Columbia River in the city of Kennewick, Washington State, USA. Viewer JC refers to episode 5's explanation of the importance of historical dates and chronology and asks, I have an interest in history, but I'm frustrated when trying to place important events chronologically in a timeline. For example, what came first, the American or French Revolution? I understand what you mean, JC, and have encountered many smart people with the same problem. It's difficult for countless individuals to establish in their minds the sequence of historical dates on a linear scale. I disagree with the prevailing mantra of avoiding boring dates when teaching history in schools. Contrary to popular opinion, I'm convinced that dates are the key tool in better understanding the evolution and timeline of human history. To this end, I regularly suggest to chronologically challenged folks, such as yourself, to remember one important date per century, thus allowing the mind to better situate other significant dates within the context of their proper epoch. For example, a well-known North American trigger date for the 16th century is 1534, representing the arrival of French explorer Jacques Cartier on mainland Canada. This important event set in motion powerful forces that would eventually change northeastern North America. The continent before and after 1534 was profoundly different. Each century, going back thousands of years, has at least one pivotal date worth remembering. Good luck, JC. Here is a question from RT. Dear Mark, I noticed in different episodes you use the word kilometer and alternate between its two recognized pronunciations. Keep the episodes coming. I really enjoy them. Good catch, RT. It's true that I sometimes say kilometer and other times kilometer. Like many words in our wonderful and colorful English language, both pronunciations are widely used. Generally, the British say kilometer, which resembles the French kilomètre. Americans usually prefer kilometer. I've spent time in both countries, so why not use both? Many words can be pronounced differently for clarity, effect, or emphasis. I'm not a spelling or pronunciation snob. I welcome and often enjoy variety, as long as an acceptable, well-known, or standard version is used. If you choose to spell or pronounce a word in a way that no one else on the planet does, then that's an obvious problem. But if you employ the word in a fashion that is widely recognized by a large audience, ethnic group, region, country, or profession, then that makes sense and adds color to the language. Speaking of the word color, its spelling varies, like many words, in different English-speaking countries. And now, a few comments, considerations, and reviews, starting with listener HF, who shares the following. Mr. Vinette, in your introduction episode, you declared that the sweeping saga of North America would be presented in a positive manner. At first, my wife and I wondered what you meant by the word positive. After listening to the first 9 episodes of your series, we now understand and are enjoying your objective, common sense, stimulating, and upbeat presentation. Too often, nowadays, history is written, recorded, taught, and communicated in a revisionist negative fashion with a contemporary agenda or axe to grind. Keep up the good work. AL writes, I listen to your podcast on Spotify, then watch your show on YouTube for the accompanying images. Please keep doing both versions. JJ states, congratulations, Mark, for your Denari novels. I just finished The Frozen Raptor and enjoyed it immensely. Historical mystery thrillers are my favorite genre, and I plan on devouring the other books in your series. NB messaged, I just listened to episode 1. Sounds like my kind of history. MS declares, I love that you start your series in the deep past. DR sent this text. Diving into Native American history interests me quite a bit. I already subscribed and listened to the first few episodes of your podcast. Definitely think I'm going to enjoy this. Here is an Apple Podcast iTunes 5-star review from SB. We tend to think that North America has a meager history compared to the rest of the world. The truth is that there is a rich heritage just waiting to be explored. This podcast is doing it, and I'm already hooked. And finally, QC announces, I love your series and have joined your Patreon group. Thank you, folks, for all the good questions and lovely feedback. Keep them coming. Next time, we will resume our main historical narrative and explore the magnificent Aztec Empire as we move ever closer to the arrival of Europeans on the continent during the great age of exploration. I'm Mark Vinette, and I hope you're enjoying the ride.